Danny,
welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a microphone right now in a grey tracksuit. It's like I'm doing a sequel to 8 Mile or something.
You literally look like you're blending in. It's like if you lay down on this and be like, has anyone seen Sean?
It's fine. Natural camouflage.
It is. Dude, obviously you've been in the theme park world for quite a while.
3 years, man. 3 painful years.
Still loving it from day one?
Yeah, still loving it, man. I mean,
let's be honest.
No, genuinely, because it's the fact of the matter is I got into it to not only conquer a fear of heights, but for me, it's all about theming and being immersed into an experience. I have to be fully immersed into an experience to fully enjoy it. Hence why I travel abroad more times than staying in the UK. I need to be immersed in that experience. But 3 years later, and I'm getting to see some incredible places, some incredible countries, and that wouldn't be possible without a YouTube channel. So, yeah, 3 years, loving it.
I mean, I'm jealous. The fact of you're there, every time I see you, you got like, you're on an aeroplane, going somewhere hot.
Yeah.
I just get really annoyed. I'm like, damn you. I wish, this is the life of no children and no responsibility, I suppose.
Exactly, and long may that continue. No children. Well, hopefully one doesn't come knocking at the door anytime soon. They're like, Dada! No, don't want none of that. Hopefully, for many, many years to come, I can go and explore as many countries as humanly possible. I mean,
anyone who does travel around the world a lot, hats off to you. I mean, I did a lot of stuff when I was younger, did some crazy stuff before kids. And you do get mad. But with theme park stuff, I'm just a bit like... So when you went to Abu Dhabi...
Best trip of my life.
Shut up, mate.
Best trip. Thing is, though, it was even better because of how last minute it was. So we were in Efteling, and we were just randomly. I don't know. I think it was like an advert or something that popped up for Abu Dhabi, or Visit Abu Dhabi, or their tourism board for like Yas Island or something. It popped up on a Facebook ad, and I said to Jake, who obviously had on the show the other day, and I said, "You want to just go and check this out?" And it's like, it's got an F1 track, Jake. He's a big F1 fan.
Yeah.
Next minute, literally a week later, we were like, it was like 4:00 in the morning, no sleep. Jumped straight on a bus from Birmingham to Manchester Airport, and then next minute we're in Abu Dhabi, and it was like 7:00 at night. We were walking past the F1 track on the right hand side and went and explored the mall. It was walking past Ferrari World, Warner Brothers.
What is that ride like?
Which one?
The Formula Rossa.
Formula Rossa is... It's more of an experience than a ride. It's one of them ones where you sit on it and you're building up every fear that you've probably ever built up or conjured in your head before you've gone on a ride that you look at and just scares you a little bit. When they say world's tallest or world's fastest, you know you're about some shit's about to go down, right? So you're sitting down and you're just preparing yourself, and then the next minute you launch, and then in the back of my mind I was like, this is not bad. It's like Rita. Soon as we went past a certain length of launch, right, it went from Rita to a completely different level of launch coaster, to the point where my face started melting. So next minute, like, I'm not unrecognizable. I know why they put the camera quite early on in the launch, because past that camera, your face is doing all sorts of things you never ever want to see ever again. But it's an experience, man. It's incredible.
To be fair, I mean, the only time I had that kind of experience is when we went to Ventura. I went on Red Force.
Yes.
And seeing the size of it, I was just like, damn. You see, when you see images on internet or someone's POV on, YouTube or whatever it is, you look at it, you think, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
But you don't know the scale of it until you actually get there, and you just think, oh my God, like,
exactly.
This is insane.
I was buzzing for that, and as soon as I come off, I was like, oh, that's amazing, I want to go straight back on it. But they do these on-ride POVs, right? And so we went out to the photo collection point, and you see the video, and they capture these videos of you on the ride, and we were on the front row, and watching it back, I was like, they look like they filmed it on a potato, mate. I was like, they wanted me to pay €15 for this video, and I was like, well, I kind of want to, because I want to see that first time, I want to keep it, but they got you by the balls there. It's €15 for this potato shot Game Boy Color camera footage. And I'm just like, this is my first time on a ride. I want to treasure it. I don't want to treasure it through this haze and fog of whatever you've recorded it on. But no, it was a cracking ride, and it was quiet when we went as well. So we went over for Uncharted for the roller coaster launch.
I remember you saying that. So it wasn't very good, was it not? Or was it all right? Is it just
The actual event that they put on was incredible, but when you're walking through the ride, you can see where all the money's gone. Like, the queue line is probably one of the most detailed queue lines in Portaventura by a long country mile, and you're walking through and you're like, whoa, this is from the game, this is a wink and nod to the film. They've kind of blended them together. Then you get on the ride.
Let down.
It's just a warehouse. There's no theming.
To that shit.
It's I think you see about 3 or 4 screens, and the rest is just empty warehouse. And I'm like, the ride itself is incredible. Like, if you close your eyes and you just go on the motion of the ride, it's a thrilling experience with some great airtime moments, some unexpected drops and turns and twists, and some great fast launches. But as soon as you open your eyes, there's bugger all to look at. There's nothing there. It's just like, oh, this looks very Merlin.
Well, it's funny you said about Merlin. I mean, let's be honest. This year, Merlin have been very busy. They're being very in people's faces of the new investments and stuff, what's happening. Obviously, we talked about it. Nemesis, tons of times. Hyperion. It's going to get me all the time.
It takes a while. It's going
to take me all the time. I mean, I've seen the construction works videos. Looks all right. I mean, I've always, unlike anyone else's reservations, it does look a bit short.
Yeah, I think that could work in its favour though, because if it's a quieter day and you're coming off and you've still got that adrenaline. Do you know how some rides you go on it and you've had that adrenaline rush, but you're still on the ride when the adrenaline's dying down?
Yeah.
I think if it's a shorter ride, you might come off it like, oh, I want to go on it again, and you're going back around it to do it again. But if it's a busy day, you might come away like.
Because I've seen it before with Stealth when it's absolutely heaving. And don't get me wrong, it's one of them rides as well where it's fantastic and it's good and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you've done it and you've got that adrenaline in, I ain't queuing up again. I ain't queuing up for another hour.
Exactly.
Got no chance.
I think it all depends on. It's an incredible ride for the UK though. Let's put it this way: like Thorpe last year, absolutely smashed it out of the park with everything that they did, from the pass holders group that they set up on Facebook, where you can literally message someone directly at the park and get a reply 10 minutes later of things that wouldn't be revealed otherwise on normal social medias of Thorpe Park. It's kind of like that insider look as to how the parks run. And with the Sparkle project and stuff that they're doing now, and they're telling you every single week what they're doing. These are the photos. This is exactly what we're doing. This is what you've got coming. And no other park does that. It's like full disclosure behind the scenes. And it's, for me, Thorpe Park last year stepped it up leaps and bounds.
100%. And
the fact that Merlin seemed to be planning for things that may or may not be arriving in the future, like a certain Universal theme park. But it feels as though they're getting a lot of things put into place to enhance their offering now, to prepare for a potential eventuality of a Universal park or any new park to rival them.
I don't think it's the rides itself for Merlin that I have an issue with. It's keeping them in the Look, let's look at Hex. Fantastic ride, dark ride.
Yeah.
No, it is. Regardless how old it is, it's been around for fucking years. However, though, it's never fucking open.
No.
And the same with a lot of the rides. Galactica has only got one station. So the operations on these rides, this is the only thing that's really irritating me at the moment with Merlin. Is just, you can go to a park expecting to ride, 10 rides, and you probably end up riding 4. Yeah.
The one time last year at Alton Towers only literally had 2 rides operating at once, and it was like, you've paid your admission. The general public have paid an admission price to walk in and see that. There's no rainy day guarantee on that day. It was just, we've just got no fucking rides.
How mad's that? I mean, the UK theme parks, and maybe it is because we go to them a lot, but I'm just bored of them. I mean, nowadays, and I don't know if it's my age or anything like that, but it's a case of now, I've been to Alton Towers with my lads and my friends and stuff, and we've probably been on one coaster. The rest of the times we're in the pub.
Every time I went last year, I did Curse at Alton Manor in the Rapids. I didn't do any else. No. I think it was only Scarefest where everyone was like, oh, let's do a coaster. Or the odd few days where we did a coaster, because I went down a lot last year, but it was always Curse. I was always going through Curse and be like, that speaker shouldn't still be there. They haven't fixed that. I'm that kind of person, but I never publish that online. I'm just going through right, if my attraction had that, I'd be disappointed. I'm going on Rapids. Obviously, waterfalls have changed that night and day now. You actually have fun on the Rapids now.
Yes.
But Curse went down a lot last year.
Yeah.
But been told they're getting a new trommel. That's the reason why it goes down. Every time there's an issue with the trommel, they shut the entire ride down at Curse. So last year, most of the time it was down. Last year was probably because of the trommel issue.
Is that even possible?
Not sure.
Because I've worked on Dual, I'm assuming it's the same system.
Well, yeah, I assume it's the same system, but I guess they want it in fully working order, maybe, or maybe the trommel is kind of key to that ride. You want it all working and ready to go. But yeah, quite a lot of the times, if the trommel was broken, they'd close the whole ride down. They wouldn't keep it open and just send you through. So now I believe that they've got a new trommel installed and a new operating system to make it easier for staff to operate the ride in 2024.
I don't think it would stop the ride because we had it for how many years as Dual?
Yeah,
it never worked. So it was
that's why they've got a new one, because that was the reason they kept putting the ride down. So if there was an issue with the trommel, they'd just close the ride. So it's not necessarily if the trommel stops, nothing else is going to work. That's not what I'm saying. It's basically if it stopped, then yeah, they'd shut it down, fix the trommel, and then reopen it. That's just how they operated it.
I did check it out with the new scenes.
Yeah. What did you think?
With the UV.
You didn't like it?
We're past UV paint. I'm sorry. We're in 2024, right? Why are we using UV paint?
Save that for golf clubs and swingers clubs, apparently. So, but yeah. I mean, see, the thing is though, you might not like the scenes, but the fact is, I think for the first time in many, many years, people have been listened to.
Yeah.
That hide and seek scene, not just enthusiasts, general public. This was all surveys and stuff that Alton Towers conducted. It wasn't just enthusiasts that got this done. People were saying that hide and seek thing is just you plunged into darkness. It's lazy. There's nothing there. There's nothing happening. They listened to that, and John Burton, Bianca, and the Merlin Magic making team came together with some new scenes, and they actually addressed that issue. Name the last time that happened. I can't even think of a time that Merlin actually listened to their customer base. I'm sure it's happened, obviously, but not in recent memory.
It was, excuse me, it was a surprise when they were doing it because it was a fan's favorite, Dual.
Yeah.
And I remember you having your concerns on the whole, is it going to be re-rideable? Because obviously with the guns, you're trying to get the highest score with your group or whatever.
Yeah, we know all about that, don't we, Danny? I lost.
Oh God, yes!
Like a week, for some context, ladies and gentlemen, you look into my eyes when I'm talking to you right now. So for some context, it was about a couple of weeks before Dual closed, and me and Danny had a little high score battle. A battle of 3 rounds, wasn't it, Danny? Wasn't it 3 rounds? And I got the high score on the first round, and I got the high score on the second round. But because Danny beat my overall score, he took the title.
I mean, you couldn't make it up.
I've been salty about it ever since, clearly.
You have, because you started to blame the operator because we stopped.
Yeah, right. He rocks up and he's like, "All right, Dave," or whatever his name was. I assume his name was Dave. There's always a Dave ride operator. And then he's like, "All right, Dave." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, you know the ride operator, do you?" And then certain scenes where the high scores, you could get the orange lights, wasn't it?
Yes, it's the orange ones.
Yeah, we just managed to slow down at that point. I was like, oh, that's
I do know some secret ones. The ones that I read, they think that they're not getting them, and they actually worth a lot more. Which obviously I can say now because
I noticed that. And have you been on Harrington Flint's at Fancy Island?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I love that. I think that's a really quirky little dark ride. But if you go into the first scene, instead of shooting all the characters, if you shoot the furniture instead, there's like a little plaza and there's tables and chairs. If you shoot the furniture instead, you get like triple the amount of shooting any character. So I was just there going ping, ping, ping on the chairs and tables. Yeah, and I come out with like a 260k score, and everyone else is on like 80, 90.
I was really surprised by that ride. I really enjoyed it for what it is for Fantasy Island.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not Universal. Well, we're going to speak about Universal if you want to.
It was a Resident Evil ride that Harrington Flint's was in a Dubai theme park that closed down. Yeah. So they had, was it Dragon Age? Do you know the Guardian?
Yeah.
So that was a Dragon Age ride.
Awful.
And that was at the Dubai theme park. And then the Harrington Flint's was at that same Dubai theme park, but it was themed around Resident Evil.
Didn't you say that arm thing?
Mm-hmm.
the Guardian.
The arm thing, yeah.
The Guardian.
Yeah.
Was good. I'm sure you said it was good in your vlog.
I never said it was good. I said that screen was very blurry. And I also said that it doesn't go upside down. It just literally rocks you from side to side.
I thought it was terrible.
What is good's the queue line. They've done an Uncharted where you walk through and you're like, oh, this is going to be mint. Yeah. This is going to be mint. You sit down, it's like, oh,
yeah, the clickbait, That's what they've done. They've said this is what you could have won.
Yeah.
But no, it's all right. But yeah, Universal, dude. I think we have to.
I haven't heard anything about it, to be honest with you.
So new news, is it?
Yeah, it's one of them.
Well, people keep thinking that it's not going to happen. They're like, nah, it's too good to be true. We've been burnt before. They're just going to use it as studio lots and whatnot. It's going to happen. Do you think it's going to happen?
100%.
I know
it's 100% going to happen. Someone told me at an event a few weeks ago. So someone quite well known, and they said the theme park industry is very small. Everybody knows everybody. Manufacturers know everybody. People talk, and with all the things that Merlin are doing already, new investments suddenly stepping up randomly out of the blue. There's a reason they're doing it. And whether that's Universal or whether that's something else on the grapevine that we're not going to be privy to for a long time, there's a reason why they're stepping up. And Universal are a big company that are doing it around the world. They got the thing opening in Vegas, the horror thing. They've obviously got Singapore. They've got all the other parks that they're used to. They're a big brand. It's not like the London resort where it's one guy's dream to open a theme park.
Yeah.
This is a brand that are doing it tried and tested throughout the world. They know what they're doing. The only other thing that could scupper that project is if they don't get planning permission. But why would you buy land without some sort of, I wouldn't say a guarantee, but with some sort of positives in place that kind of make it almost certain that that's going to happen. But I can't see why it won't happen, and I'm so bloody excited because the second that park opens, everyone else has got to step up their game.
Well, I remember talking in, I think it was one of the podcasts, and I stated the fact of, I don't think it's going to do the other parks any favours. And a lot of people were arguing, saying, I think it will. I think a lot more people around the world will come now to the UK.
Yeah.
I still don't believe that. I want to know your thoughts on that. Do you think, your French and your Germans are going to...
Potentially, yeah, because, I mean, the only thing is, you got a point there, obviously it's going to bring in new tourism to the country. But at the same time, it's just tourism down south. Now, would you want to go to any other park for whatever reason? As a thrill seeker, Thorpe Park isn't going to go anywhere. It's got, unless Universal build the UK's tallest coaster, Thorpe Park still has a unique selling point. Other rides in Thorpe's lineup could obviously lend a hand towards it compared to what Universal build, but that's up to what Universal build in the future, which will determine that competition. Legoland is a much younger audience targeted than, for me, what Universal targets generally. So I think Legoland's safe. The only park that worries me on the Merlin portfolio, in comparison to Universal, would be Chessington, because they've kind of got the IP stretch with Jumanji and stuff like that. Their kind of age demographic is kind of similar to what Universal target in terms of that sort of age bracket. I think Chessington would be the one that they'd have to look at and be like, right, these big boys are coming in, like, how can we survive?
I think...
Alton's safe. Alton's always going to be safe.
Do you know what? You used to saying about mentioning Chessington. I think Chessington is the safest one, and I think that's because you know what Chessington is. It's that kind of safari wild kind of theme park vibe. So
is it strong enough to survive against? It's got a zoo, but if you want to see a zoo, you go to a zoo. Yeah.
I mean, when I go to Disneyland Paris, I don't think about going to Asterix.
No.
I just think about going to Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's going to be exciting regardless what happens. And I think any competition is always a good competition for any company, whether it's theme parks and Alton Towers going, do you know what? We're never going to bring fucking funfair rides ever again into this park.
Flavio's Fabulous Fandango still stands to this day. There was a rumour of that going, and then that was quashed instantly, saying it's not going anywhere. So happy days for that twist there, I guess, and whoever's operating that. But Alton Towers is... I think Alton Towers is going to be safe. I think Bianca knows what she's doing, and I think this season everyone's got high expectations. I don't think Alton Towers had a very good 2023. And I think with all the positives that are surrounding Nemesis and all the rumours that are surrounding flat rides coming back in their original forms and stuff like this, everyone's kind of... I think the expectations are too high. I think 2024, is going to see events scaled back in terms of certain events removed, like Festival of Thrills. If they got rid of that tomorrow, I wouldn't care. Like, bye. As long as the money's going towards improving the events, the Oktoberfest, Christmas and Scarefest are probably the three strongest that they do. If the money goes into that, It's happy days, but I think everyone's going to expect everything done straight away. Like if they walk on opening day and see Nemesis closed, they're going to complain. And there's a very strong possibility that Nemesis is not going to be open on opening day, so there might be people disappointed. But throughout the year, if you're starting to see small positive changes in events, how they run, what the offering is, you know, the quality of the events and how far they stretch throughout the park instead of just focusing it on Tower Street like they have done every single year for the last God knows how many years. Just the little changes will make all the difference. But then I think 2025 will be the year where we start seeing those improvements like more frequent. I think everyone's gone in with like this expectation up here. It's like everything's going to be done. Nemesis is going to be ready. Shit, Galactica's probably going to get a Phalanx update next year. Oh my God, I can't wait. They're going to walk in and be like, oh, it's still dirty. It hasn't been jet washed. You just got to keep your expectations low because, you know, they can't do everything at once. I mean, the spa's closed down now, so there's going to be some sort of hospitality.
I didn't realise I had a spa.
I only found out about a week before it closed down because someone messaged me like, I'm in the Alton Tower Spa. I'm like, wait, what? But apparently there's a big sign by the monorail station, so we walk past it 1,000,001 times every time we go, and there's a big arrow saying Alton Tower Spa, and I've never seen it. It is there. I've seen it now, but every other time I've walked past it and been completely oblivious, just like many of. As soon as they closed down, everyone in the comments on that was like, wait, there's a spa? Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. It looked good.
Did it?
It looked good. There was like a little room, like all marble tiling with these marble beds. It looked cozy. The pool, not so much. It looked a bit.
Whereabouts? Where was it? Is it in the main hotel or was it in Splash?
Not sure.
This is what I'm saying. The advertisement was shocking.
I think it's off. Well, because when you go out the hotel, if you go into the Alton Towers main hotel and you have a drink in like the garden outside with the fountains, it's just behind it. So, yeah, around that area. But you know, I never actually saw it in person. I just saw photos, and then the person who told me it was open, and then as soon as I wanted to go, it was closed. So.
Typical.
Yeah.
We've got to get you on here and talk about Nemesis.
Oh,
I know it's old news. I know because you've been doing it on your channel. I've been doing it on my channel. I'm not too keen on that fencing. It looks like fucking Smiler.
Listen,
chicken rum.
I couldn't give a flying monkeys about fencing as long as that ride is back and it's open. But the thing is, though, mate, everyone, so many people have said about the fucking fencing. Jesus, it's like it's like walking through and being like, oh, don't like that tree there. It's like it is what it is. You've got to give and take, and they've added stuff to the queue line, so that's never been there before. They've got more speakers going in. They've got, I don't know what they're doing with these shipping containers. One that looks like it's been ripped out with a creature inside it. Whether they're going to theme that up or whatever, I don't know. This helicopter on the turnaround, walking around a new way around the queue line. That's going to give you different viewing points. I think even the queue line kind of skewers off into like a viewing platform as well. So that'll be pretty sweet around the loop. But if we're debating about fencing, I'm scraping the barrel about things. I'm just happy to have it back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not far from it. I'm not destroying it. I mean, like, but the helicopter.
Yeah.
The fuck is that about? Like,
I was so proud to be the first to announce that because nobody believed it, and then I was
Did you? Did you have your Sean Lift Hills and Thrills exclusive?
I had a Sean Lift Hills and Thrills. You know, 3 years ago when I said that Nemesis were getting retracked, and everyone was like, "No, it's not. No, it's not."
I remember.
But we were the first to post about the retrack on a YouTube video. I'm sure somebody probably posted it on Facebook or whatever before me, but we were the first to post it on YouTube. And then the helicopter, I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, cool." And there's another helicopter on the way. And now with Sean, Mr. Sandbrook, Mr. Theme Park Worldwide, with the drone footage showing the gun missing, there's only one other place that helicopter can go. So once you walk into Forbidden Valley, if indeed it's going to be called Forbidden Valley from now on, you're going to be seeing a helicopter.
I think it will be still called Forbidden Valley.
I don't think it matches. Everything's going black and red colour scheme now, isn't it? So everything's changing. The lore of the story is kind of being altered and changed, and I could see why they'd consider a name change, but Forbidden Valley still works, and people know. It's like calling Nemesis Reborn. It's never going to. You're not going to say I've just come off Nemesis Reborn today, are you? You're going to say I've come off Nemesis. So it's one of them. But if the whole area looks different, and if they did the similar to, do you know when you like walk into Alton Manor and you got the actors and everybody there? It's such a cool little space to like be a part of. It's well themed. You're completely immersed. You know, you could be anywhere in the world. It's a nice immersive space. If they had like a street team in Forbidden Valley, that'd be brilliant. Like phalanx soldiers, like what they've done with all the marketing so far, having soldiers stand outside the claws and the fence and all that sort of stuff, and operatives kind of like walking around. If they had something like that, I think that would be a really nice immersive space as well. And Forbidden Valley's never been an immersive space. It's been, I'm going on Nemesis. Like, no one cares about Galactica. Galactica's like the little bastard love child that's in the corner that nobody loves. Everyone goes Forbidden Valley for Nemesis, and they will continue to do so.
I got told, and I got laughed at when I said Galactica will have its own area. It was only, was it just before Christmas? I was speaking to someone, and they said that's not far from the truth. Whether they're going to put something up and use that car park original space. Remember when there was on about putting a coaster there? And
that was a secret weapon location at one point.
So
that's
would it be really that unrealistic to put a fence between, you know, where
the cafe is?
Across, like you're going into a new area.
So roller coaster restaurant would be your new area.
Yeah, part of Galactica, and then you got the car park with the rides and whatnot.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, with what's happening with Galactica, if it's only going to get, if it does even get a jet wash before it opens,
don't think it will.
We'll find out. But personally, I wouldn't mind either way. I mean, I don't think they'd do it if they're doing work on Galactica. I think they'd probably turn it into something phalanx related. But I'd get rid. I think Galactica. It pains me to say it, but I kind of want it to leave. It's a John Woodley classic, but other flying coasters around the world have now perfected the flying position, like Fly at Phantasialand. Finally done it, Dan. I've been saying this to you for 3 years. I
remember saying to you, when you get off Fly, you're going to see what I was all like banging on about.
100%. Even in the rain, right? Even in -2. Yes, we rode it in -2. Yeah, we went on Chapas in -2 as well, and that was a fun experience. And we did that twice. And Fly is one of them ones, and you come off it, and it's like, it's complete immersion. And you can appreciate the engineering that has gone into getting that roller coaster into that flying position, and it just simplifies everything that plagued Galactica and other flying coasters around the world. It's just that fluidity of how it gets into that flying position. And as soon as I went on that, man, I'm on the bandwagon for scrap Galactica. I was like, get this fucking thing.
It's so shit. I mean, everything with Galactica. I mean, no.
I can't say it's shit.
No.
Because of what it was. It was revolutionary for the time when it was built. It just hasn't been looked after. It hasn't aged well. They haven't looked after it. It's like if they're going to phalanx theme it, it's still going to be a rust bucket.
Yeah, but don't you see there's a theme going on here with Alton Towers? Alton Towers do this a lot with a lot of their coasters. Like that fucking Oblivion looks minging. They need to seriously.
Well, look at the Smiler.
The station.
Yeah, even people who work for Alton Towers are saying how bad. They know it's bad. It's just like, with the money that the park's given to do their own Sparkle project, because obviously Alton Towers aren't as upcoming and as upfront as Thorpe, who are posting every single week what they're doing. Alton Towers are very much secret. Like, come and see for yourself sort of thing. I think if you've got that amount of money and all the work that's going on in Forbidden Valley, I think that's the focus for this season. And then I think that money will spread to other areas over time. But the thing is, people want everything right now. Yeah. They want to walk into Alton Towers, on opening day in March and just be like, oh, it's all done. Smiler's fixed, everything's fixed. There's no flooding in the queue line. There's this, there's that, and you just can't expect that. It's just not viable. It's not financially viable for a company to do that.
Sean, what pleasure.
Thank you very much.
It's been fun.
It's been good, man. Thanks for having me on. Loving the setup.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
It's great.
Yeah, we're just moving in. It shouldn't be too long until it's actually fully completed. I'm hoping to get some lights, proper studio lights.
Yeah, that would be mint. And I said to you before we started recording, I mean, I think I've been on bigger brand shows that have had worse studios than this. This is a good quality studio, man, and I hope people appreciate it and tune in.
Yeah. Make sure, guys, to follow Lift Hills and Thrills. Sure.
Lift Hills and Thrills.
Links will be in the description below.
16,000 subs. Way behind where I wanted. 3 years I wanted to be at 25k. It's approaching 4 years now.
You'll get there.
Oh God, I need that plaque.
He needs that
everyone. I don't know what it is. It's not. It's not like everyone else just wants the plaque because they want the plaque. But for me, it's like a symbol of you've actually achieved something. You put your mind to it, and you've been rewarded for the hard work that you've put in. I just like that. I like putting the work in, and I just want some like token of appreciation that says not only does YouTube recognize it, but the people that watch it. Like I love every person that tunes in and watches, and I appreciate every single one of them. It's just like, let's get that more. Let's keep going.
It will do.
Get that plaque.
And I'm sure next time we speak, you'll be on 50,000. So hopefully,
yeah, in 2030.
Sean, thanks again once again, and see you in the next one.
No worries, dude. Thanks for having me on, and happy riding.
Happy riding.